Travelers across the country are missing flights as security wait times hit record highs. TSA workers are calling out sick by the hundreds, and they're set to miss another full paycheck tomorrow as lawmakers remain at a stalemate over the reopening of the Department of Homeland Security. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, Republicans rejected a counterproposal from Democrats to reopen DHS and rein in ICE. Senate Majority Leader John Thune called the proposal unserious. Speaking with our Nicole Killian on The Takeout last night, Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen said President Trump needs to step in here.
This all hinges on the president. Every day the president says something different. One day it's this, one day it's this, and it's not this. He's chaotic. It's his shutdown. He's controlling all of it. I don't think the Republicans know what to do because they're trying to please him, and I guess at this point he doesn't even know what he wants.
We're joined now by our Homeland Security correspondent, Nicole Skanger, we've been watching all week speak to travelers on every level, the basement, inside and outside there in Houston, who are dealing with a nightmare. Nicole, good morning. What's the update today?
Yeah, good morning, Errol. The nightmare continues. In fact, some travelers telling us they actually called their Texas senators while waiting in line. Congress has 2 more days before recess, and before that missed paycheck for TSA workers that the acting administrator says will bring lost wages to nearly $1 billion since the shutdown began last month.
On Capitol Hill Wednesday, the acting TSA administrator warned the situation at the nation's airports could get even worse if the government shutdown continues.
We are being forced to consolidate lanes and may have to close smaller airports if we do not have enough officers.
Republicans and Democrats have traded proposals in recent days to reopen DHS, but there's been no deal so far.
We have differences of opinion when it comes to ICE.
A source tells CBS News the Democrats' latest rejected counteroffer included requirements that federal immigration agents wear body cameras and identification in the field.
The radical left Democrats need to get DHS back and open immediately.
Bush Airport in Houston is one of the epicenters of America's TSA headache.
Tell me why you got here so early.
Because I didn't want to stay on this line, and look at me, I'm still here.
As few as a third of the security lanes here are operational at any given time because roughly 40% of the TSA personnel have called out of work as they await a DHS funding deal to restart their paychecks. Over the past 6 months, TSA has gone without funding for 86 days and counting, meaning TSA officers have worked almost every other day without an on-time paycheck. More than 480 officers have quit altogether since the latest shutdown began.
You're not angry with TSA workers who aren't showing up?
No. I sympathize with the fact they've got to feed their families and take care of business.
Here in Houston, wait times have regularly exceeded 4 hours, but help is on the way with at least 24 reinforcements. Members of TSA's rapid response team expected to arrive today to assist in screening passengers. Errol.
And Nicole, you're quite busy because I know you have some exclusive reporting for our viewers about an internal watchdog report looking at vulnerabilities in TSA airport screenings. What have you learned, and should the people around you be concerned at all?
Yeah, the Department of Homeland Security's internal watchdog, led by the Inspector General Joseph Kafari, found serious concerns when they did TSA red testing last year following a decision by then DHS Secretary Noem to allow travelers to keep their shoes on while going through TSA screening. That report, sources telling us, highlighting serious security vulnerabilities, including the fact that that policy never should have been put into place. Now attempts by the Department of Homeland Security to bury that report. We are told only 13 individuals, that include 3 members of Congress, a handful of DHS officials, and 1 White House official actually had access to the report. An agency that had no access to the report, TSA, and they are yet to respond to it 5 months later, Errol, despite a statutory requirement that requires TSA react and put a plan in place within 90 days. So, of course, lots of concerns here about TSA's capacity to screen passengers, with more and more folks quitting ahead of high-profile events that require security like FIFA, the World Cup, the Olympics. This just one more concern that TSA might not be prepared to screen passengers and that DHS might be trying to bury those findings. Errol?
Very troubling, Nicole. I know you'll continue to press for answers on that. Thanks for joining us there live.